So I went out tonight again solo, and it's a very frustrating night. I'm not gonna lie, this is not gonna be like a positive video. I'll try to, but this is just pissing me right the hell off. Like, it's not even like anxiety. Like, my heart's not racing. It just feels like an invisible force sometimes. And I think I know what it is. Essentially, it's a contextual issue. So, think about it. Context. Like, there's a reason why it's okay for a barber to use a blade close to your neck, or a dentist to play inside your mouth, right? Because the context is there, it makes sense. So let's say you're at the grocery store. Well, the context is to just buy food, right? Do groceries. So when it comes to seeing a woman that you don't know and you want to talk to, well, contextually it doesn't make sense. So you're not giving yourself permission to do so. Your brain doesn't want to give you that permission because it's not the context. It doesn't make sense. So I think that's why a lot of guys, they don't really think it's like a anxiety problem, because they don't, like, their heart's not racing, they're not like stressed out. It's just like just this hesitation, like it's like somebody's grabbing them by the collar and they're not able to move. And there's some other days where perhaps you're in a scenario where the context makes a bit more sense, or you start getting a bit more momentum, and when you have momentum, you're out of your head, so that doesn't really come across your mind if this is contextually all right or not, because you're in a good mood and you're just doing it, right? So yeah, I did not get momentum at all tonight. Just keep in mind, if you want to do this solo, on top of that, if you're doing this sober, well, it's even more difficult, because it's just like, it's raw, man. It's it's not as, how can I put it, like, there's nothing really helping you externally. Like, you're all alone in a new country, new city, no friends yet, and yet you still decide to go out solo. You're not drinking, and you try to make it happen. Well, that's gonna be really difficult. Really, really difficult. So, yeah, that's just a challenge I'm facing right now. And it's cool that I'm documenting this, because I'm not some kind of guru. I'm not pretending to be one. I have good nights, I have bad nights. Today was a really bad night. It was a crappy one. And I'm not going to bars. Like, I'm just I'm walking around the kind of like the streets that seem more closed off, that there are bars around. Like in Seoul, that's kind of like what it is. There's neighborhoods, and then there's tons of streets, lots of lighting around, music playing, and like the streets are wide open. Sometimes there's a car here and there, but that's kind of like the layout of some of the bars in Seoul. So I'm just walking right around the bars and then trying to hit up, guys, girls, whoever, right? but sometimes when the context is just, it just doesn't make any sense. So it's not like a social sort of not like it doesn't put me in a situation where I could be social and it would make sense, aka it demands you to go out there out of the blue very randomly and go talk to them. Yeah, sometimes it's just a little difficult. And there wasn't as many people tonight. It was a Thursday. So, yeah. But I really do think it's more of a permission contextual issue. Whereas I'm having trouble giving myself permission to talk to a stranger because in that context it doesn't make sense. Like just, but yeah, I'm going out at night, so maybe I should try to brainwash myself that no, this is the context. This is my night. This is like I'm the fucking mayor of this town. And yeah, I need to find people because that's my role. So I need to perhaps assign a role to myself that would allow me to be social. That's like a trick I learned. Like if you create a role for yourself, like when I was an actor, my name was Donnie Cocktail. I was this funny, suave, charming guy, and I had no problem talking to people because we were doing murder mystery shows. So I had to go out there table by table, introduce myself, talk, and I had to get out there. At first, it was really nerve-wracking, but I still did it. And I got into momentum bit by bit, and like I was kind of like flirting a little bit with the girls there, but it was part of my role. So, but I could sense that my amusement and all of that, like, keep in mind it was a big audience, like 200 people, and I could sense that they were starting to get closer and closer to me, wanting my attention because I had so much fun, and I knew my role, and my role was to provide a good vibe, talk to people, and I had no fucking remorse of doing that. Like I just had a good time doing it. And I think that's why I need to do more of. Because otherwise, if I'm just playing me, who is not giving himself permission to approach, well, it's gonna be really hard to give myself that permission. So I think one thing I have to do is eventually I'll have to hit those venues. Like I can't just keep walking around and waiting for the right moment. I'll have to just get inside a venue, talk to the first person I see, and go from there. I guess it's just my cheap ass not wanting to spend any money, not wanting to drink anything, but I have to put myself out there and do it. I don't have to take an alcoholic beverage. I drink from time to time, but I don't want this to be sort of my courageous juice, right? And you know, when you walk around in Korea, like everybody's with someone, almost. Like here, it's kind of interesting, the scene. Like there's clubs, but people don't really go there on a Wednesday or Thursday. Like, I mean, there are some, but in my area, it's a bit more like lounge and type of resto bars. Usually where you eat and you drink. Or there's high-end cafes. But usually when you go to eat to those places, like there's at least two people, right, at that table. People who know each other, friends, right? I'm just a brand new guy who arrived 2.5 weeks ago. So I think not only I have to get into those venues, but I have to start finding a wingman, going to events. Like I might have to start at places where it's like you shift from table to table, and it's for like Koreans who want to learn English and foreigners who want to learn Korean. Might not be the best quality of people there, maybe I'm wrong, but perhaps I'll have to start there. Just put myself out there more, you know? Not just wander around the streets and approach when it feels good to approach. Yeah, I've got some good interactions doing that. Like yesterday I connected with a guy. I just walked into a Lululemon store and then we just started shooting the shit and like talking about how Korean women are in the city. Like what's the typical Korean approach? How do they go about it? Like the K-style method. And yeah, we exchanged contact. But he has a girlfriend, so I don't think it's gonna be my wingman, but it's a good contact to have, right? Could be a good friend. I also met another guy who was sort of running an event, showcasing his electrolytes. He's getting married soon. But yeah, still a good contact. I got his Instagram. So I have to keep putting in those reps in the daytime. Could be nighttime too, but nighttime, like I said, usually it's people gathering together in tables of 2, 4, 6, right? So me wandering in the streets, it's kind of it's an awkward position to do, right? Like there's not many bars that it's kind of like you walk in and you grab a drink, and it's more like you have to sit down at a table. So that's a bit challenging. So I'll have to find networking events and connect with like-minded people, find my wingman, find a great friend, start going out with him, and then if we share the same goals, I think we're going to be walking on water. I think we're going to have a good time because we're going to push each other when we don't always feel like it. Because when you're solo and you don't feel like it, well, it's tough to to motivate yourself, right? But I did get some good interactions, like with one girl at a park once in the evening. Talked for like 30 minutes. I got her number after. Like that was a great interaction. But these don't come every day, right? So that's why I gotta put more reps in. And I think with a teammate that pushes me, that will be helpful. That's why going out solo is challenging, because you don't have anyone to push you. You can still make it happen, but I'll have to go out more solo if I want to make it happen, get more results. Like it's gonna come eventually. Like if you put in effort, it's always that first rep that is difficult to break the ice. So I think what I'll try next time is not try to always seek for the attractive woman, right? Perhaps I just have to talk with everybody. Like in the beginning I thought like doing something like this would be maybe wasting their time, but it's not like I'm asking them to marry me and or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want to approach someone who's attractive to you, right? And But if you want to be social, I guess you can approach anybody. As long as you're honest after, if you see them wanting to escalate or wanting your number, because that can happen, right? Where you're so relaxed because you're not really attracted to her. The conversation flows because you're so like not in your head, you're not stressed out, and then turns out she asked for your number. If you give it, cool, but if you don't want to go out with her in the first place, like, perhaps you could just tell her right now instead of, oh bro, but I haven't got laid in such a long time, so let me just do it, right? Let me just go out once, this one time. Bro, don't waste your time like that. Be a gentleman. Yeah, I think that's what you got to be, a nonchalant gentleman. Yeah. Be social. Be honest. Just have a good time. But when it comes to tell the truth, you gotta live by that. Yeah, and I'm not saying like be a simp and speak your feelings and all that. No. It's just be honest with your intentions. That's it. But yeah. Lesson of the night. If you go out, there's gonna have some bad nights. Absolutely. Like we're not superheroes here. Especially if you're solo, sober, and most bars require you to have a table, and by yourself it's just it's tough. But I'm making excuses now. I could walk up to a bar, walk up to a table and say, hey, I saw you from outside. You looked really interesting, and I wanted to come say hi. That could work. My goodness, that would take some guts, and I think I'll have to do it. I'll have to break the ice, and I'll have to talk about it one day, me doing that. A cafe could work, because you don't need to address, I guess, the hostess or whatever. So perhaps a cafe would work. And cafe in the daytime as well is good. Because if you spot someone from afar and she's working on something, later on, or as soon as you can, that might be a better idea. You say, I was working on something and I saw you working. You look pretty like in the flow state. I didn't want to break that flow, so I waited until you took a sip and just wanted to come say hi. Just whatever comes to mind, right? There's no perfect line. But I think I've said enough. I'm not perfect, bro. I'm just documenting all this. I was kind of the guy who was lazy at the start, who kind of let women come to me. And I got a good dating life out of that. But now I want to expand even more on that skill. And I think being solo, new country, and doing it sober as much as I can, I think it's an extra good challenge to have. Because if you can do it with all those metrics, I think later on you'll be unstoppable. So let's be unstoppable together. Keep following the journey, and I'll see you on the next one.